Welcome to Northern Lights. I'm Dwain,
And Mark.
and today we're going to talk about Islam Makhachev versus Bobby Green. I thought it was quite interesting that Bobby Green took this fight on such short notice. Was it 1 week, 2 weeks?
2 weeks after he'd fought, the Kelvin Gastelum's younger brother.
He doesn't really look like him, doesn't it? I thought it was him at first.
I'd messaged you about that before. I'm like, another sad loss for Gastelum today. But did you watch the fight, the Islam and Bobby Green?
Not in the middle of the night, just not for a fight night. That's the trouble living in England, isn't it? We're watching these cards and they're on at like 3, 4 in the morning. I'm like, oh, for a fight night, can't be bothered to stay up that late.
I was up at like 4 a.m, got up for a piss, and I thought, oh shit, yeah, I'll watch it. They'll be coming out to the ring. And this is me getting used to UK time again. I was sat watching, and I was that tired. My eyes were like piss holes in snow. Sat watching a couple of people grapple on ground, still tired. And I looked in, and it was Dominic Reyes versus Yuri Prohaska. It was like a repeat sort of thing. I'm like, why am I sat watching this? This was last year. So I just had a look. I just had a look at the highlights, and I've seen Islam finish him.
Yeah, it's a pain, isn't it?
I watched it again when I woke up.
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't stay up for that. That was it was the first round TKO, but lackluster finish,
Very boring finish, wasn't it? And that's the thing. I'm not against grappling fights. If you watch something like Damian Maia versus Ben Askren, that's super. Where they're on the floor, they keep swapping around. Fighting for position, really interesting. But it was quite a boring fight.
Well, it's like Bobby Green said earlier this week. He says anything that Islam does is just boring. It's true. He's the John Major of MMA. Just a real boring man, like completely grey. Just like, I'd seen a comment yesterday. You know the videos when they're putting the wrist wraps on before the fight. Someone commented underneath saying, "Why is Islam bothering doing that? He don't throw a punch." Evidently he does, but I just like.
Yeah, I mean they're all ground and pound. It's gonna smash your boy. But yeah, so Bobby Green and Islam came out, and to be honest, Bobby didn't do too bad at the start. He was defending quite a few takedowns, but he was so stupid. Why would he go for a front kick against a wrestler? That's just saying take me down, isn't it? Take me down. You're on one fucking leg, you moron. Why would you do that?
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's just a personal, not hatred, but dislike that I have. Like, as in, because for me, we've had Khabib, and I enjoyed that run of him just mauling and everyone. But straight after, for this to happen again, you think, oh shit, he's going to be champion in it, and he's going to feel like he's holding up the division again. But even though he's on like a 10-fight win streak now, you go, well, you look at who he's fought. I wish it was someone way up there in the top 5 that he could dismantle and then get a title shot. Maybe that's just why I've got a bit of a dislike, because he's like, calling for the next title shot.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, so if anyone didn't watch the fight, Makhachev beat Bobby Green by TKO, but it was a ground and pound, took him down.
First round.
Yeah, first round. What, first 3 minutes was it?
Yeah, 3 minutes something.
He got the win, and he was supposed to fight Dariush, and I think that'd have been a much more interesting fight. I was super excited for that fight. Actually,
I really was. I would have got up, made sure I set an alarm for the right time, and got up and actually made sure I was watching the right fucking fight this time.
100%.
I was excited for that.
Yeah, I was. And he deserved the win. He was the better fighter. It's the way it was. But I just wonder, does Islam deserve a title fight from this win? Because, Bobby Green's not the best fighter in the world. He's not bad. He's pretty good.
He's very good at stand-up.
Yeah.
But it's I don't know. You just look at the names and you think, should he? You go, not really.
The only notable person that he beat was Dan Hooker. And,
I think he should fight the loser of maybe Gaethje and Oliveira. Then that'll prove it.
I agree. I think he'll fight Dariush next, then the loser of Gaethje and Oliveira, and then fight for the championship. So I think that's only fair. I mean, yeah, it's great that you're on a 10-fight winning streak, but a 10-fight winning streak against who? I mean, like, if you beat nobodies, does that matter?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I really hope someone can just knock him down a peg. To be honest, I bet even Dana's thinking that, like, oh,
yeah, that's the thing, isn't
not
it?
Mr. Personality either, is it? I'm not saying either Oliveira is either, but
no. But the thing is, you want a champion who can sell tickets. Like who's going to run out and think, right? Oh, the Islam fight's on tonight. He's going to just lay on them for 3 minutes and smash them. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like watching a Bilal Muhammad fight, isn't it? I'll remember the name. Not a chance.
Not a chance. And I often feel, I don't want to start it, it's just me moaning about wrestlers, because I do like wrestlers, but I feel like UFC's rule set is weighed so heavily for grapplers. So if you're a striker, you can, your only defense against wrestling is being a good wrestler, because the way it works with the grounded knee strike. So like say Islam took Bobby down today, and the reason he took him down was because he put his hands around his waist and he put his knees on the floor. So that meant Bobby Green could not do any kicks to his head, any knee strikes at all. So when you make a failed attempt, that's it. You can just keep going. And then he got him in side position, and Bobby Green could just knee him in the head. But you can't do that. And so your only defense is to be a wrestler. And I think that's not a very good way to do it. Because if you're fighting a striker and you're a wrestler, you can change the levels, you can compete against that, you can move out of the way. There's things you can do, whereas I feel like it's too weighted for a wrestler.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, but I wouldn't agree entirely, because I'd say it's just like, playing at your strengths. No one, it's very rare that you get someone who's good at absolutely everything. Someone, I don't know, GSP or something. They come along once every however long and however many years. Old John Jones, and it's like, so if you were great at stand-up and the other person isn't, you'll try and box their head off, wouldn't you? But if you were great at wrestling, you just use that to your advantage and try and do it. But I get what you mean about the rules being heavily favored. But then what would you implement? Like, because they've already got a rule: if you're lying on the floor and there's nothing happening, they just stand you up again, depending on who the ref is.
Yeah, for me, I'd allow for knee strikes to a flawed opponent. Not kicks, because I think the trouble is if someone's getting up, you just kick him in the teeth. It'd be like UFC 1 where that sumo wrestler gets all his teeth knocked out.
Brutal, isn't it? Brutal.
Yeah.
But imagine, so Peter Yan would have TKO'd Aljamain Sterling. And if he wasn't acting, I'm not putting any insinuations out there, if that was all genuine, he could have been really fucked.
But what's the difference? What's the difference of, right, I'm on the floor on my knees and you knee me in the head, or I'm on my floor on the knees and you punch me in the mouth? What is different about that?
You know how powerful a knee would be compared to a punch, them angles and things.
Of course, but I just feel like it's too weighted, and what can you do? There is no defense. Your only defense is to get good at grappling. That is it, isn't it?
Pretty much. I mean, I suppose that's the unpredictable thing about it, though, because obviously you'd get you go against someone in, I don't know, let's say in the lightweight division, you're against Gaethje, you go, all right, yeah, he's a great wrestler, but his strikes and his kicks are mean. And you go, all right, I'm against Islam. He's just a great wrestler, great grappler, that kind of thing. So it's like an incentive to be all well-rounded, because it would be if everything was wrestling or everything was striking, there wouldn't be that much variety.
No.
But that's what's the beauty about it, I think, is just that there's that much of, especially the lightweight division is stacked.
Yeah.
So there's that many different styles. And it's not necessarily, like not the old days of the UFC where they go find out which style's the best, but it's just to see how they all not complement each other, but you know what I mean? As in, like, you go, all right, there's a wrestler against a striker, wrestler wins usually. Then
but it just feel like that UFC eventually is going to be this. I mean, it's basic that anyway. It is going to be this melded style of everyone's just good at everything, which is fine, which is great. Maybe that's more interesting. But I think that's probably it. Thank you everyone for listening. We'll see you next time. Like, subscribe, and all that good stuff.